Not yet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for RoboCop Rogue City, and if he looks like crap, there's nothing I can do about it because this game was not working that great. I'm not sure if it's working that great right now. Okay, it is. Okay, I had to turn it on all low because this was like really messing up the stream when I was testing it. So, all right, we got RoboCop Rogue City, and it works. And it's better than the RoboCop TV show. All right, let me take a look at the chat real quick. Hello, Anthony Jordan. Hello, Grimness. Will we ever get cybernetics like RoboCop or Ghost in the Shell? It won't work exactly like that. RoboCop, it's too primitive for what it is, and with modern technology, we would have stuff that would be almost indistinguishable from like actual muscle fibers and stuff like that. Ghost in the Shell is more likely. Let's see. It'd be nice if they did an Aliens game. It'd be awesome. I would literally get a new GPU just to play it. And yeah, we'll talk about computer chips in the brain in a minute. Hello, Neji. Favorite Star Trek movie is going to be Star Trek 6, where the wall comes down in space. And so I'm joined today by Triple X Medic. I've let him out of the basement for some co-commentating greatness. Yes, it's totally his fault. Damn Northerners. Alright, so let's begin. Now, this game takes place in between RoboCop 2 and 3. We're going to play it on just normal. I'm not sure how... I didn't really like the idea of like this being like an interquel, but it works. Works really well, actually. And I'm doing pretty good today. Caleb Hicks went skating and had a lot of fun. Had to dodge all those bloody chillins. And yeah, you do get a lot of good boss fights in this. Wait a second. Yeah. Got the... Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that, though. That kid was not that annoying. And I don't even like kids. What? How? How? Oh, that's why. There we go. All right, we got him back.
Hello, everybody, for the second time. Just remember, if the game doesn't work or look good, it's my fault.
Yes, and let me reiterate, damn Northerners.
Old Detroit has a cancer, and that cancer is crime.
Yeah, the guy that got to voice the old man, he has a name. I don't know why they just give him his name, but does not sound right at all. His voice is way too high-pitched. I mean, if you go to like the local skating place where I go, every time people are like, we're gonna have a population crisis, you wouldn't know it from going there.
Disturbance? I'm a big fan. Now move.
At least he has good trigger discipline.
I can't tell if it's just my laptop or is your stream just jittering.
Your regularly scheduled program will be back shortly.
No, it's not. It can't be because I'm looking at the Rogue City thing, and it's not doing too bad. See about me.
Soot just sat down at about 10 frames per second.
Yeah, it's lagging bad. Damn it. There's nothing I can do about it, though. Because, like, this is one of those games that doesn't want to stream right. That's why I didn't do Space Marine 2.
Let's get you up here.
Anthony's got it right. Just blame it on Medic.
We'll get Officer.
And, like, these graphics aren't that great anyway. Like, these people graphics don't look that amazing.
Officer Howard made a drug bust that cost us.
Now, I'm not really sure if this could happen in the real world. I know this is not the real world, but still. Because, like, would this be like a major terrorist attack here? I'm just saying. I guess 9/11 didn't happen in this world.
There you go. Enjoy.
Because can you imagine just a bunch of drug dealers showing up and taking out, you know, Space Marine 2, they added a sniper champion pack for salamanders. Huh. Space Marine 2 really is, sadly, everything wrong with AAA. At least it's still a fun game, but still, it's like, we're gonna just keep adding content after the fact. It's like, great. You can just pay more money, right? But, yeah, like, this would be something that would be talked about for decades. The time a bunch of... Now, do you think these people, if in the real world did this, they'd be charged as terrorists?
Yes, absolutely.
It's like, we don't really see anything this big ever happen in the real world. Okay, I don't know if the jittering is gonna go. You get all the stuff for a flat rate. Still, though, I don't know. I just like it when a game is released fully completed, so you don't have to just keep buying a bunch of crap. I love that iconic foot, even if it is, like, running at a really bad frame rate.
I think Cyrus is trying to get me fired.
Good to see you, Murphy. Lieutenant's at the main.
Okay, how bad is this, like, jittering?
He got out of the car just fine.
Okay. Then maybe we're okay. I've got this set literally to low. There we go. We'll take all the performance all the way down to -25. Maybe it'll magically work. Okay, Neji. Then at least I don't feel too bad. My computer isn't getting old. Cosmetics are cheaper focus, so if you have no intention of playing... okay, it's just, I don't know. My thing about Space Marine 2 that I don't like is how a lot of major events take place in the co-op campaign. It's like, we gotta defeat the Hive Tyrant, and you know what? A different squad is gonna do that. It's like, couldn't we do that? But yeah, this would be a giant terrorist attack. They talk about it for decades. You thought Jan 6 was bad. Only one unarmed civilian got shot during... I mean, never mind. So
they would have a name for it and everything. Like the Channel 9, like, Scourge or something like that.
The Channel 9 Siege?
Yeah, the Siege of Channel 9. On this date. Never forget.
You know, but then I'd have to make the 80s style tweet of talking about how, so wait a minute, all those Detroit gun laws, they saved people how? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They're just a gang. They
Bad
have no
guys
cause.
don't follow gun laws.
Exactly. Let's see. It's just a gang. They have no cause. They're rebels without a cause.
Rebels with menopause.
Oh my. So when was the first time you saw RoboCop?
I discovered... Are we talking the movies?
The movie. Yeah. RoboCop 1 from 1988.
I remember seeing the trailer as a kid. And I was way too little to see it in theaters. But my grandfather bought it on VHS, and I had a VCR in my bedroom, and I rewound a certain scene about 50,000 times.
I know what scene that is. You do see bare titties in RoboCop. It's where this chick is taking off her armor. I think they actually show that in here, in this game. Well, they don't show the actual scene with the titties, but they make allusions to it, I think.
There is a second scene later in the movie when Nash is at the nightclub and Robo's pursuing.
Oh, yeah.
I missed out about 80s movies where you would just have random nudity for no reason other than just random nudity.
Well, you also, if you were a shall we say an adolescent, that was like your only way of seeing titties, unless like you actually talk to girls, but like that's really hard. Do you want to have teen pregnancies? It's not like today with the internet where you can see titties any day you want, you know?
Yep.
Like sometimes all you had, man, all you had was just a freeze frame of two titties, and that was it.
If you were really lucky, like a certain medic was, you had a descrambler, and you would wait until your parents went to bed on Saturday night, and you would hook it up, and you would no longer see. No.
It's not fair. I did not know such technologies. But we got an Uzi 9mm. And yeah, I would like to go back to practical effects too, because like the RoboCop suit looks really good. Now he is limited. All he can do is just kind of waddle forward, but he looks good when he does it. You know. There's an option in the options menu where who's shooting me? It's a good thing I'm a walking tank because I can't. There they are. I would normally be able to hear them, but I had to turn the audio way down. One of the stupid things that people complain about. Oh yeah, you can turn down the footsteps. Why would you do that? That's like, you know, turning down the titties. It's like the footsteps are why you're here. You know? I'm just saying. I like the footsteps.
The mechanical thud of the footsteps was so good.
Yeah, it's like turn down the lightsaber. Let's see, Cyrus. I'm actually going to have another co-commentator on a Star Wars game. Since Triple X is not exact. You're not a Star Wars fan, I don't think, right?
I'm not into Star Wars, but I don't have anything against it either.
Okay, because I got a Star Wars fan, Darth Chihikyo. I'm sure you've seen him in some older live streams. Gonna be doing Jedi Fallen Order with, you know, discount Kyle Katarn, aka Cal Kestis. Cal Katarn was better. Oh crap, he's got a grenade. Now, as we all know, these guys bought those guns 100% legally, so we need to ban all guns, ban all cars, ban all meats, among other things, so that everybody will be nice and safe.
You're operating on Demolition Man logic now.
Ooh, you could actually have that. They could do a game like that, you know? You said it like after the first movie. Poured about 5 gallons of water on me.
The service box is in the basement.
Actually, you got a really good point because after they killed what was his name? Plauto or whatever, and they have to rebuild. You got the Cocteau. You got the groundwork for a game where the cities are trying to figure out how to rebuild, and you got really good carte blanche to bring in gangs, police.
That would be pretty cool. I actually would like to play that. The thing about Demolition Man is you can't think about it too much. It's like, okay, wait a minute. Why wouldn't like all the other states just like take over San Angeles? They got no defenses. So why doesn't like Space Houston just take them over? You know? Then what's going to stop them? Breach! It's Call of Duty slow-mo!
Do you ever see that video about how much Demolition Man got right about the future?
No, but it did get more right than one would like to think.
Yep. Smartphones, GPS, a couple other things I can't think off the top of my head. I'm a bad co-host.
Yeah, you're fine. You're a human being. It's not like you just like you have like 5 pages of notes in front of you.
I don't have my Zuckerberg mandatory brain implant Google chip yet.
Ugh. Yeah. Oh yeah. I think Cyrus asked that earlier. It's like, would you ever want to get a cybernetic thing? It's like I would, but I never would. I'd love to have like a way to increase my intelligence or something, but I would never do it because I wouldn't trust anyone to not like slip in a backdoor code to like take over my brain.
What if you could jailbreak it?
I don't know. It's just like you'd have to trust somebody pretty much. A really big. You'd have to trust somebody a lot to literally put something in your brain. Just I don't know if I'd do that.
So you're saying you don't want to be Johnny Lotz-nomic?
No, I couldn't trust somebody enough to tinker with my brain, you know? It's not like getting breast implants or something, you know? It's your brain. You kind of need that.
Are you saying smart titties in the future?
Yes. Let's see.
My nipples are Wi-Fi.
So to become a co-commentator, I have to actually talk to you in real life. So you could become one. We'll have to see. Used to be, It was all by random. UK loves the band things. Yeah, you better believe it. What if Anakin was a crackhead? You know, Anakin might as well have been, because he was an insane person. I would not want sex to become more mental. Like, sex is a great physical experience. It transcends the mental and becomes completely atavistic. Where you don't have to think about anything or have any kind of technology. It's just you and another person, just your meat, and that's it. And yes, I did think about overthink sex. Is that surprising? Is that really surprising?
The more you know.
No, because like to me, it's like it needs to not be. You shouldn't overcomplicate the sexy times. It's supposed to be where you completely transcend the technological, and you go back to a more primal existence. At least that's how I looked at it.
So no conehead sensor rings?
No. Look, the only sensor you need is, yeah, a meat tube. And a
Did you ever see coneheads?
Yes, I've seen that.
All right. The daughter with the pointy head. Would you or would you not?
I didn't really like her personality, so probably not. For me, it's like, if I don't actually like the person, I could never engage in the sexy times.
Oh, no, I'm just basing it on her appearance.
Okay, if she actually was, like, intelligent and had, like, it was, like, politically based, yes.
So you could overlook the conehead?
Here's the thing. I'm actually pretty, progressive on looks to a certain extent. The conehead's not a big deal. You know, it's not going to get in the way during the sexy times. It doesn't, like, make her look too bad, so, yeah.
No, I don't think it would bother me either.
But
Do not tell my wife that.
Let's see. Trust Elon Musk is of the Neuralink. Yeah, I don't like Neuralink at all. I would not want a chip in my brain. If a chip can alter your consciousness, can you really consider the same person? Not really. Another video that what if Anakin turned Palpatine to the light? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Body condoms. I remember that. Oh, those Naked Gun movies are hilarious.
I heard they were doing another one with his son or something.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be good. They went there with the OJ joke. They went there. I saw. It's gonna be kind of Rick and Morty-ish, but I'm still probably gonna see it.
Can we just make comedy great again, please?
No, because all the good writers are gone at the moment. They're either too old, they're forced out, or they're being gatekept. And yes, AR-15s had better be able to shoot steel case. I've shot steel case out of cheap and expensive ARs. If it can't do that, you don't want it, especially for SHTF, because you don't know if you're going to come across brass or steel, and it better be able to do both.
With a decent amount of amusement, so don't skimp on the nuke. See ya.
And yeah, there are still good writers. Oh yeah, I love the psychological aspects of RoboCop, and we do see a little bit of that here. There's been a lot of stuff that they've wanted to do with RoboCop that never really worked out well. There was like RoboCop comic book series where Robo has to fight and I'm not making this up. This is totally true. This is a thing that happens in the comic. Robo has to fight a Aztec shaman that captured his wife and kid. I'm not really sure RoboCop would normally have the jurisdiction to go to like Mexico to fight Aztec shamans, but whatever. Guns have trouble shooting steel case because steel case has more friction on the case. Giggity. So that's usually why it kind of hangs up in magazines. CRTs, man. I never should have gave up my CRT, but I did.
I have one if you want one.
No, I have no room for that. That's why I got rid of it in the first place, but it's like, oh, I should have kept it, but when you got a limited space.
Would you mind if I shared a short Robo story with you?
Go for it.
When I was a young medic, my mom took me to a Comic-Con where I got to meet Peter Weller as RoboCop. And I had a picture of him that he signed. And I was so proud of that photo. I took it to, I think it was first grade, show and tell. And I was bullied relentlessly over that picture.
Yeah, kids are shit stains. I mean, kids are wonderful.
It was my greatest possession as a child.
They didn't destroy it, did they?
No.
Okay, good.
I would never let that thing out of my sight.
Good.
But I even remember the one insult they hurled, like, oh, does he keep his gun in his underwear? No. His leg.
Now, what shit stains? But then again, they always were that way.
Yep. I still got that picture, and it is still the shit.
Oh, you gotta send me a copy of that.
If I will dig it out of my crawl space, and I will send it to you.
Because I would love to meet Peter Weller. I would pay the $100 to meet him. I'd pay it. Because that's how much he'd charge. I guarantee you. That's how much Shatner charged. That's why
I don't recall. I was too little to know if my mom actually had to pay for it back then.
Yeah, that was back in the ye olde days. Now, Mr. Weller, he has to pay that mortgage. Yeah, Robo wants an Oreo. Yeah, they never really knew what to do with Robo, because, like, not only do you have to fight the Aztec Shaman, but then that was a very important comic, because after he defeats the Aztec Shaman, he basically determines that he's not going to be Murphy, that he's going to stay as RoboCop, and that's it. And then the whole series ended after the Shaman. Uh-oh. Okay, I thought the thing was going to crash for a second.
We both just missed a perfect opportunity to say, I'd buy that for $1.
Oh, I would. For more than $1, especially these days.
By the way, the grabbing animations in this game when you grab a monitor is hysterical.
Let's see, let's grab one. Yeah, it just kind of appears in his hands.
Yep. And
Smash.
there's like no limit to how far you can throw them.
You got bullied for Godzilla. Man, what shit stains? I hate kids. I mean, not every kid was bad, but at the same time, I didn't like people until I was in high school. Okay, we gotta make sure we shoot these bastards so they don't kill the hostages. But see, this is pure, like, terrorism here. Like, these might as well be ISIS members, you know?
Thank God you've come. This lady really
Answering Mebom's question in the chat,
Murphy, these people
his pistol's unlimited because it's a nod to 80s and 90s movies throwbacks where the hero never reloads.
This is Lewis. We have rescued 3 hostages. One with the gun.
And also, it's a video game. It's just a video game. You want to have... not having tactical stuff? Is there a way to test guns before you buy them? Not really. PSA works. I shot my PSA just last week, and it worked good, so. Bullet time is a RoboCop. Realistically, RoboCop should have bullet time. Like, state-of-the-art reflexes.
The gun store by me does offer demo guns in certain, like if you want to do like an AR, they have a loaner AR, but like they won't just do one off the shelf for you.
Yeah, because they'd lose money on that. Did Robo reload in RoboCop 2? Yes. What kind of ammo does RoboCop's gun use? It's supposed to be 9mm. Because this is I think a Beretta 92 with a muzzle brake on it. I like the Beretta 92.
I got into a heated debate about that. Somebody tried to tell me that it was a Raffica.
Oh, it could be. I thought it was a Beretta 92. I really like that animation Robo just did on that AK-74. That is a perfect... yeah, it's a perfect reach around. He knows what he's doing.
You look like the type of guy that would pick up an AK and not even give it a goddamn reach around.
Got any communists? See,
2 points if you got that reference.
Oh, of course I got it. The comic that he would decide he's not Murphy is the whole character arc of the first movie. The comic was written by a Transformers writer named Simon Furman, for some reason, he decided to make Murphy stay RoboCop, and then the comic ended. So yeah. Beretta 93. Okay. You think RoboCop would break your break your legs if you jaywalked? No. RoboCop is a really cool guy. Because Alex Murphy was not one of the bad cops that are out there. He didn't throw his weight around. And so as RoboCop, he's still a good guy. I mean, that we could get into a whole debate about, like, policing and stuff like that, but I don't want to get, you know, canceled. I know people have very strong feelings about the popos. For me, I just like to remind everybody that the popos are human. There's going to be good ones. There's going to be bad ones. The bad ones get all the press because that's what gets the clicks. So, ACAB is not exactly accurate. It takes just a few bastards to make the whole profession look bad, and that's kind of what the media went with for relentlessly for all of 2020. But that doesn't mean you
say scab.
It's Hogan.
It should say scab. Some cops are bastards.
Yeah, exactly. Any kind of profession that has power is going to attract people that want to use that power. So, Alex Murphy is one of the cops that actually sees his duty as protecting people, not just, you know, like showing how big his dick is. You know, that's the important thing. And there's a lot of popos that do save people, but they're not going to get on the media for that. Like the way the Geo Revan reloads. Yeah, it's a cool gun. A bit clockwork insanity, but still neat. Frank Miller is pretty...
Question. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Frank Miller is pretty mean-spirited. Like, they had to tone down a lot of Dark Knight Returns for the animated movie. I like the animated movie more than the comic to a certain extent. We going?
Hey, what was the RoboCop movie where he got the update patch that totally turned him into like a meter maid?
That was Robo 2. Oh crap, I'm getting completely eradicated over here.
And didn't he grab like an electric fence to like break the programming or something?
He electrocuted himself with, I think, just some live power lines.
I only ever seen RoboCop 2 like maybe twice.
It's not that good, but it's not that bad either. It's not a movie you'd want to see multiple... It's a movie where there's good scenes. The intro is awesome. It's just, do we want to see, like, our hero get, like, torn apart again in the second movie? I think not. I'm sure...
I saw the third movie in theaters.
Really?
And as a kid, as a young kid, I didn't think it was awful. It wasn't until I watched it as an adult when I'm like, what is this shit?
Yeah, I liked it as a kid. I'll admit that. I think we rented it, and I liked it as a kid. You had the jetpack, you know. I watched a lot of those things as a kid that you're not supposed to. All those R-rated movies. But I liked RoboCop 3. Like I said, the little girl didn't bother me. I mean, I found her annoying as a youth, but she's not the most useless of kid characters. She's less annoying than Jake Lloyd's Anakin, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I just hated how they turned RoboCop into like a bumbling idiot that just keeps getting knocked down.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It is bullshit. Robo would not try to arrest Batman because RoboCop's actually a good guy. Now, RoboCop is based on Judge Dredd, and Judge Dredd did try to arrest Batman, and did in the comic crossover. But Batty got his just rewards because Batman got to sleep with Judge Henderson. That's a female, by the way, a hot blonde, who is now a MILF.
What do you think about the color of this?
Because she ages in real time and still looks like she's in her 20s despite being almost 70. I suppose if people like the standard PSA Saber should be much better. The thing about PSA is people say a lot of bad stuff about it, but it works. The Saber is good, like if you're gonna put like over 10,000 rounds through it. Okay, we gotta shoot ISIS here. Multicolored ISIS. Because they pretty much are ISIS at this point, because they're going for the hostages instead of trying to take down RoboCop here. Which is really dumb, because they would not actually do that. Well, we lost a couple hostages. Yeah, Carl Urban's Judge Dredd is pretty underrated. But yeah, the whole idea about RoboCop going after Batman, RoboCop would help Batman. RoboCop is a good guy. That's the thing. He wants to actually help people. And since this is an RPG, I make RoboCop basically be what a cop should be. You know, a nice guy. Batman and Deadpool comic crossover. Oh dear. I saw Dredd in theaters as well. That stupid... okay, right now Robo should be able to blast him because his finger's nowhere near that trigger. There is no reason why he should miss.
You got 3 seconds. 3.
Our family is easy.
I thought this was a weird angle to go in the game where he keeps having flashbacks to his wife.
I mean, it makes sense to a certain extent. He had him in the first movie.
Last chance, weirdo.
I don't think you'd call RoboCop a weirdo, though.
You okay there, Murphy?
I like the fact that Ann Lewis actually is pretty useful in this game. RoboCop and the Punisher, yeah, RoboCop wouldn't really work with Punisher that much. Because Punisher is kind of an asshole.
Get it away from me!
I am sorry.
That's why we love him.
Can you see? It's unstable! Ma'am, please, calm down. It's been a very tough evening, and I assure
The thing about Batman having the no-kill rule is that is entirely done for cynical purposes. Like, Batman is smart enough to realize that if you have a super criminal that's just going to keep killing people, Batman has killed people on occasion. I think he killed, like, KG Beast, which is a character nobody knows or cares about. But I read about that. Batman
Hey, do you think that
Go on.
do you think that black guy that he threw off the bell tower survived the fall?
Maybe.
Or the clown he strapped explosives to?
Maybe. He just got knocked out, I swear. Dirty Harry
Video
would
game
work.
logic, huh?
Exactly. The game footage is kind of lagging. This is mostly working. Unreal 5 evidently does not like OBS. We're kind of screwed. But we're gonna do it live! We'll do it live! But yeah, Dirty Harry might work with the Punisher. Might. I'd like to see a crossover between Dirty Harry and Paul Kersey from the Death Wish movies.
God damn it, I was just about to say that.
Great minds think alike. I do not approve of Batman's no-gun rule, because that's really stupid. Just because not everybody has, like, 15 different martial arts memorized. You know? I'm just saying, like, people need guns to fight back.
They're here.
And it would make sense that Batman would shoot bad guys, just because there's a difference between beating up, like, a thug and, like, a super criminal that's, like, murdered 1,000 people.
Good job, Murphy.
I think you're forgetting someone.
Officer Lewis.
Must warn you, this is the best part of the game for me, and I'm gonna nerd out here.
I did too.
Would have been nice if we caught him, though.
All right.
I've not seen
I have
Sunday
many
Night.
Easter eggs to show you.
Good. We've got a problem.
The malfunction caught on camera provokes.
And the thing about Murphy here is Murphy strikes me as like a really proactive kind of guy. I just don't think he'd let himself get pushed around by this guy or by any of these people.
The head of security concept.
And yeah, RoboCop would arrest
Now, quiet.
Dexter from Dexter.
We will never put infected product on the streets. That's not what we do.
We all saw it hesitate.
The thing about
Dexter's ending was so awful.
Does it really
I only saw the first 2
know right
seasons.
from wrong?
Listen.
And I didn't care for it. I watched it just because, well, the person I was with at the time wanted to see it, and I was like, well, I'll sit through it with you.
Thank you.
It's the same way with, like, Breaking Bad. I didn't really care that much for that show either.
I just want.
Better Call Saul was better, in my opinion.
I've seen the memes for that.
She's got a point.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 Dirty Harry movies, and I liked them a lot, actually. But just haven't sat through all the rest of them.
This.
Death Wish 3 is my favorite of them all. Because, you know, that is the perfect vigilante movie. He's got the wieldy, he has like a 30 caliber machine gun. You know, every time he shoots like a thug, it hits that 70s, 80s awesome music.
We know what's in
It's
Murphy's
beautiful.
head. It's what's in yours that worries us.
Push me, and you might just find.
But like, the thing about poor Robo here, about Murphy, is he's kind of stuck working with OCP because he can't like maintain himself.
Everyone is dismissed.
So it's just like, it's kind of sad for him. I want somebody to rescue RoboCop and turn him into a human, or at least some kind of really advanced android, so he can have his body back. Frank Miller did one good RoboCop comic, and that was gonna get some side quests here, and that was RoboCop versus the Terminator. That was actually pretty good.
Murphy, would you give me a hand?
Emilio Estevez. He's an actor nobody cares about.
But puke is a no-go for me.
I liked him in he was in a parody action movie. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. That was really good.
I think we're thinking about Hot Shots Part 2.
I owe you one, Murphy.
No, that was Hot Shots was
I'm gonna be sick.
a Rambo parody.
Okay. It'll probably make a more
Yeah,
agile,
Loaded
faster-
Weapon. That's it. Thank you, Silver.
Hey, they probably should have compensated the camera. The truth is, they could make a more agile RoboCop if they wanted, but they cut corners. We spared no expense. I think RoboCop would approve of Cops, the TV show. Oh, you know, there's an X-Files and Cops crossover. It was actually pretty good.
Sleep tight.
We need a cloned Murphy. I would love to see that.
RoboPig! Why do you have to spoil our fun all the time? You
Your
metal
acting is
freak!
terrible. Why would you call him a metal freak? He clearly isn't freakish. His form follows function.
How does he poop?
I don't think that's a question the movie should ever answer, because we don't really need to know that. Oh yeah, you can come in here with the showers? Oh my, there's a deleted scene in RoboCop 2 where he's like perping on a woman in the shower.
Ooh, I figured it out. He takes a data dump.
Oh my.
Dad joke. In the locker room, you will see a member leaning up against the wall without a shirt and just his vest on. That is a nod to the very first movie.
Yeah, I don't think I saw him. There he is. No, it was just a... Oh, we can help. Ramirez, tie my shoes.
What seems to be the
Yeah, that Wildy Magnum
My damn locker won't open. Can
is
you
a pretty neat pistol. It doesn't work, but it's pretty
Yep.
neat nonetheless.
Wait, what is all this shit doing
I
in my-
apologize. I keep forgetting there's like a 15-second delay between what you're seeing and what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you guys, very fun.
We've got the chalkboard here. At least it's all properly translated. Yeah, she's got to get to Burger Town after she fixes those flashbangs. Now, see, this is very much a
Remember the
TV.
burger pub.
Exactly. Very much a TV kind of thing. Why do they need that many goddamn monitors? That man is playing Galaga. I gotta tell you, I do not like the Marvel movies that much. Avengers 1 was okay. Iron Man 1 was great. Captain America 1 was great. But they're just so generic, you know? Like anybody could have wrote them.
Why don't you take a seat?
They treat
I
RoboCop
love
like...
that they give you.
Go on.
Sorry, go ahead. I love that they give you
That's a nasty scar.
like dialogue
I'd like to see
options.
the other guy. Am I right?
Yeah.
You do not. Trust me.
Don't mind me.
Not as deep
I'll
as
just
Fallout,
listen.
but it's still nice to have.
This is true.
So here's the deal.
And I like having
The old man
RoboCop
is not happy with your performance.
basically being able to be a good guy.
Instead of
I always
sending you
pick
to
the
scrapyard,
nice
I suggest,
dialogue options.
He wants to fix you. Hey, pretty boy. You sure know how to make an impression on the
You know, but I
In
don't
my
know.
head canon,
Doesn't it hurt him?
RoboCop's always a
He's
stand-up
a
character.
machine.
Yeah.
He's legally dead.
So the Wildy's reliable, the Automag. Okay, maybe
No,
I
madam.
mix the two up.
It does not hurt me physically.
So we're going to equip you with a little monitoring chip. It will do a real-time check of your system.
Now, like,
so we can get to the
wouldn't
bottom
Murphy
of what
like have a problem with that though? Wouldn't he be like, "Over my dead body"? He might be legally dead, but who's gonna be able to stop him?
on your best behavior, huh?
I always felt like they needed to explain why he's so, you know, like pliant. He really shouldn't be.
Let's see what we have here.
He really should be stronger than that. But whatever, this is our level up system here, so. They did a good job on his face. I don't know why that's supposed to look ugly. I mean, there's a lot uglier ways that could look. Like, just look at the RoboCop 2s. It's like, ugh. Oh, we didn't find the secret number 1. I'm gonna blame the chat. B! Screw you, game. What is this, Japanese all of a sudden? Why is S better than A? Oh my. That could be taken the wrong way.
Yeah, S and A don't go together.
Yes. Oh, there's a latest social
Unless it
media.
makes super awesome.
That's true. Okay. Now, see, I could do combat and armor, but the way I play RPGs, I always go for dialogue options. I want as many dialogue options as possible. So I would actually go for psychology. We're gonna just level up all of our psychology so we can get more public trust points. Because RoboCop, he likes to talk instead of just shoot people, like a police officer should do.
Already see some unwanted activity in your hippocampus.
I find a lot of the skill tree points, like the combat ones, are almost unnecessary.
To be sure, let's make a simple test to check that.
I mean, they do
The
help a
best
little
perks
bit.
are at the bottom.
What are your prime directives?
This is true, but they also help
Like
a little
this-
bit towards the end of the game.
Protect the innocent.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I agree, the late game stuff, but the early game,
Nothing disturbed.
I want to find the hidden rooms.
Any new upgrade?
I want the dialogue. I want to hack safes.
Is that
Especially that. It's like,
Actually,
this is a legitimate RPG,
yes,
so.
sorry. My name is
Like
Dr.
having a
Olivia
bullet that
Webb.
can split in
I'm a
half really
psychologist.
doesn't do anything. Like, would you even notice that it happened in game?
Yeah. I mean, he is supposed to be a cop, you know?
touch the microwave. It hasn't been working properly either.
He's not supposed to be shooting people. I mean, that's one of those things where I think we can see with the body camera that some of these popos, especially in bad cities, kind of go to the whole, like, shoot people first thing way too fast. And which PSA do I own? I just own a standard lightweight upper.
I agree. If it was up to me, I'd remove it altogether. What do you think?
If
Doc?
I had one
Hassle.
negative thing I would say about this game, and it is a small gripe,
So what do you say,
when
officer?
you're in RoboVision
Is that
and you're
possibly something
detecting
that could be of
threats,
interest to you?
it should automatically lock on immediately to them and be almost like a one-hit kill.
Robo,
You would think.
Because that's how it was in the movie.
Yeah.
It's about the new guy.
Like, if you're outside of RoboVision, you can aim wherever you want.
Excuse me, Dr. Black.
But if you're doing his RoboVision, it would have been neat if it auto-tracked the enemies like in the movie.
Realistically, he should be able to do that all the time, though, but it would not be as dramatic if he didn't miss at least once or twice.
Well, yeah, and also, that would be the game holding your hand the entire time.
Yeah. Use the KP-15 lower from KE Arms. Sadly, half of that well, one of the biggest sellers for KE Arms, Carl Casarda, became a real social media Dinsian. Oh, this is where you can, like, help out with this, and, like, it turns out the guy's husband... Turns out... We're not gonna do that right now, because that's depressing. It's like, your husband is dead. It's like, oh, oops.
I think you can go to the gun range.
See, that's where I'd rather go than, like, trying to comfort a... That's one of the reasons why I would never
Grieving
want to
widow.
be a police officer or do what you do, because you have to tell people horrible news every day. You know?
That's the worst part about it.
It's like, I'll tell you this, that's why I got mad respect for you and even the popos as well, because, you know, you see the bad cops all the time, but you don't see the cop that has to say, like, well, your kid died of a drug overdose and died choking on his own vomit. I can't imagine trying to tell somebody that. You know?
Yeah.
And yes, RoboCop would do the robot. You can do the robot in this game. We'll talk about people choking on their own vomit, and then about RoboCop dancing, because that's just the kind of channel we are. But yeah, RoboCop here, you know,
I'm sorry, you got me with choking.
choking. Like choking and puking at the same time. Very unpleasant.
It's exactly what it is, and we've all done it.
Ugh. Like Jerry Seinfeld, I hate having to even think about throwing up. Because it is so unpleasant. I really like that RoboCop showed up in that Mortal Kombat game. That's where he does move pretty fast. I want a gun range like this. This should be really fun. All the targets charging at you and such. Okay, what side quest do we have in here? The too many complaints? Yeah, we don't want to talk about, like, this woman's husband is dead, because that's depressing. Makes you want to choke.
Did you get the flashbangs out of the girl's locker?
Yeah, I did that.
Okay.
Mud drain, it also brought... Gross. Got stuck in the mud, but also brought them home to their parents and body bags because they were so messy. Ugh. That's a lot of mud. Mortal Kombat 11. I never played Mortal Kombat 11. I'm not a big fighting game person just because I really got into fighting games all that much. I mean, I like Street Fighter 2. For all the rest, like, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat Annihilation because I could make my own fighter, and I made a RoboCop in that using Cyrax's head.
And that has made every gang in the city start advertising their services.
Robo Ninja. Now this is none of these people have their original voice actor or original actors except for Peter Weller. But they did a very good job making Reed here look pretty good. I'll tell you this, there's a really cool scene in RoboCop 3 where the police actually do side with the people in Detroit to fight against the splatter punks, I think they were called. That's a really good scene. That's really powerful. I'd like to think that would happen in real life, but when you look at some of these things that happen in some of these major metros, I think a lot of the smaller police agencies would side with the people, but not a lot of these giant... Well, even then, I don't know, I'm going to be nice and say, maybe not like in Portland, but definitely in a place like Houston.
Sergeant Reed's handing out shotguns to the citizens.
That's cool. I hope stuff like that happens in real life, just because I'd like to think there's enough stand-up cops that they would actually do that. I'm not going to be one of these doomers. It's like, oh, you know, I want to think that would happen. I hope it would, because not every cop is like a bad guy that just is there to, you know, show how big his dick is. It's more... I think there's, even in places like Portland, I bet there's a lot of cops that suffer through that just because they want to at least try to make a difference. Hey,
what did you think of his jetpack?
I like the fact that he had a jetpack, but man, those special effects were pretty bad.
Look at that car model. Oh.
And sorry, Silver Wings, I have no control over that. I tried to turn all that off. And yeah, Robo can't sit. He's like a space marine. See, like, that's one of those things about social media is people like to doom all the time. You know, they're like, AI's gonna take her jobs. It's like, it might. I'm not saying it. Well, see, like, some cops aren't your friends, but some can be. The thing about it is, when my grandfather passed, a cop showed up pretty fast, and he was very helpful. He was a very nice guy. Now, he was the neighborhood cop that my grandfather knew and everything, so maybe that has something to do with it, but he wasn't pushy. He wasn't a mean guy. He was actually legitimately trying to help. So, I don't know. I think there's definitely a lot of, you know, jackbooted thugs out there, but I think there's probably still enough that are there, you know, that they are trying to keep things from getting too crazy, you know. I'd like to think there's more Sergeant Reeds than there are, you know, Judge Dreads, I guess you could say. I'd like to think so, but yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to be positive, damn it. Okay, we're not going to issue tickets. Now, that is something that does make policing look bad, is there are ticket quotas, and we're not going to be a bad cop and issue tickets. I think there's actually a city that recently banned that.
I couldn't find the 5th car.
No.
I issued the tickets.
How could you? You monster! You get all the dark
If it
side
makes
points.
If it makes you feel better, I let the kid who stole the car go.
Oh. Don't even want to arrest you.
But I draw the line at parking violations.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
I don't know. Judge Dredd would be pleased. Okay, let's detect violations. Oh, I don't think there should ever be a ticket quota, though. I think that's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong.
You know, it was a bit egregious of Dredd to blow up that guy's sports car.
Yeah, but see, the guy was an asshole, so he deserved it. Oh, crap.
Yeah,
the
but
game
to
crashed.
destroy his car? I mean, impound it.
The thing is, though, like, compared to the comics, though, like, in the comics, he would have gone to jail for, like, 50 years or something, so...
Why did they put Rob Schneider in it?
I think the idea was to have, like, somebody to have Stallone play off of. What they should have done, and they had a good character already for that, would be Judge Hershey, I think, was the character. The hot chick. Well, one of the many hot chicks in that movie. Like, she'd be the more human judge, he'd be the less human one, and they'd have to, like, learn how to, you know, not be a dick, you know? And I think it could have worked.
I have it on good authority that they went with Hershey because Snickers was on vacation.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's right. Kit Kat was on break.
No, no, Kit Kat. She was in rehab. She had a major nose snow habit, I think. Like, I was just a crate full of stolen goods. I like Judge Dredd.
By the
99.
way, this big open area is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
You're my best friend. I love you.
Like, there's so much detail crammed into this little few blocks.
See, okay, I can't arrest them for drunk and disorderly. Dredd would be impossible to live in. Yeah, it's not supposed to be good. The thing about Judge Dredd is he has grown over the years from, like, a real hard-ass to, like, less hard-ass. But I can't really take the Judge Dredd universe seriously just because it's meant to be a satire, so there's no, like, happy ending for anybody. So, I don't like that. It's like, give me something happy, goddammit.
Not in this market. We're looking at an annual
Short-term investments. Man, if I had known back in 2010 how much Bitcoin would be worth. I'm not one of those, like, Bitcoin is like the future, man. But I wouldn't have minded having, like, you know, maybe 10 Bitcoins. I could be rich. Yeah, this game really doesn't like to be streamed. Hopefully it's... Does it still look alright? Because I can't tell.
It looks good.
Okay. Oh, Washaterias.
You're at like 30 frames right now.
Okay, that's not too bad.
No.
Washaterias. Never had to use one, but... Ugh. A communal, like... A communal washing machine or dryer? Ugh. 40K really isn't satire. At least not to me. 40K can be, but most of the time it isn't.
Your daughter was promoted to executive, huh? Why not ask her for help?
I mean, that wouldn't be bad if Schneider was like a fugitive. That's actually a pretty good idea. And then, like, Hershey and Dredd would have, like, a conversation like, we can't take him in, you can't kill him, he didn't do anything wrong, or what he did wrong wasn't worth this, and then Dredd would have to learn not to be, you know, so crazy. I like the idea of characters that start out, like, evil, or maybe not evil, but, like, morally ambiguous, and then they learn, like, they learn the error of their ways without dying. It's like, there's a difference between, like, Darth Vader and, like, just a guy who did a couple bad things, you know? Maybe nothing too egregious. Like,
guy down there.
Are you saying that Clarence Boddicker could have been rehabilitated?
no. I like Clarence Boddicker as a villain, though.
I love him as a villain.
The thing about like RoboCop can have vulnerabilities. He can't be knocked around all the time, you know. But when RoboCop gets knocked down, it needs to be a big deal. Like Clarence, I can see him knocking him down. I gotta tell you though, the final fight between Murphy and Clarence, I think, is really, really good because they really play up the human angle on Murphy, where like Murphy gets stabbed by Clarence Boddicker and he like lets out this like blood-curdling scream. I really like that because that shows that like he's human now, you know. Obviously, getting stabbed in your metal chest wouldn't hurt. But he'd think it would hurt because, well, he's human. And Kowalski, how many Kowalskis are out there?
How can I assist you?
Do you ever see all the Jesus Christ references they make in the movie?
Yeah, it's American Jesus.
He dies and he's reborn. He walks on water.
For 3 different pushers, so you either like to walk for miles to buy nuke, or you appreciate a discount. Don't take it out on me because the guy broke your nose. As you can see,
Arrested kid. He sounds like he's 30. Letting them steal means fewer drugs on the streets. I don't think RoboCop would say that. He's not from Portland.
Do not worry. According to my directives, there are several ways to convince him to cooperate.
I ain't gonna let it reprogram my brain. We can talk, but don't let it drill into my head, okay? The guy's name's Maurice, but I don't know where to find him. I always arrange a place over a payphone.
A payphone? This must be sci-fi.
It works. The dealer knows where the others hide their stash.
And yeah, Judge Anderson is pretty hot in Judge Dredd 2012.
I will take care of it.
Yes.
But you need to find a payphone first. Try near the supermarket.
Now, I'll tell you, the whole American Jesus thing, though, I didn't notice that as a kid. I just liked the awesome robot man. That was it. That's why
I didn't notice it as a kid either.
And that's why I kind of like RoboCop 2 a little more than RoboCop 1, believe it or not, because he's RoboCop the entire movie, whereas with RoboCop 1, it's like, why is he like this human? Is this lame-o human? Okay, there we go. Ugh, I remember payphones.
I will also give OG RoboCop credit for having the greatest comeuppance death ever.
Oh?
You know when Emil crashes into that vat of Detroit drinking water? I mean toxic waste.
Yeah, where he gets mutated.
Oh, that was so good practical effects for the time.
That did look good, but man, man, I gotta tell you, like that. If you're showing that to your girlfriend, you need to kind of like warn her ahead of time. It's like, okay, this is gonna be really gross, but you just kind of gotta go with it. I always thought he got like mutated. And hello, Michael White. Today's pretty good. Went skating and had a lot of fun. Had to dodge a million fucking children's.
You know, for a villain, I found his death to be the most atrocious. Was he really the worst of the gang that deserved to die that way?
No, but it's 80s. You just kind of got to go with it. I think, like, you wouldn't want Clarence to go out that way just because the showdown between, you know, Robo and him, it has to be sort of like, you know, an Old West kind of thing, you know? Where they both have sort of honorable deaths.
Listen, man, I'm really swamped with the laundry right now. So
Mono e mono.
Too busy to earn some money? Shouldn't take...
So you would not want to earn some money, would you?
I don't! I mean, I do! I do want to earn money! But wait. Your voice.
You sound like...
A future happy couple.
Exactly, Silver. Exactly.
RoboCop! You want to bust me? Why don't you do
Silver's picking up what I'm putting down.
guys who vandalize phone booths? I'm losing customers because they can't find working payphone in this goddamn... What the fuck is it this time? Anybody home? Don't hide, Maurice. It's just a friendly visit.
Reasonable dealer? He doesn't sound that reasonable. Who would win, RoboCop or Adam Jensen? I think Adam Jensen would win just because he's a lot faster. That's sure as news. I was born in '96. I used a payphone once or twice as a youth. The Fly? Hey, The Fly is really good, though. The Fly! It is pretty hard to watch at the end, though. I really like Jeff Goldblum, so... It's a very, very good movie. but you get to the end, it gets pretty nasty when he turns into the Fly. There's a Fly too that has Eric Stoltz as the main character, the potential Marty McFly. Uh-oh.
Hey, when you used the payphone, did you do the collect call hack?
No. I was kind of aware of it, but the one time I needed it, I did not think about it.
Oh man, was that genius. You have a collect call from, "Hey Mom, it's me, come get us, we're ready. Will you accept the charges?" No.
I remember there used to be commercials saying like, "That's illegal." It's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
I still remember like, dial AT&T collect. Dial 1-800-CL, something like that.
Yep, 1-800-COLLECT.
I'm glad we got cell phones now, though.
And then there was 1010-220.
I don't think I was aware of that one. See, like, the only time I ever really needed a payphone was when the fucking bus wasn't at school for some reason. I don't know why. I swear it wasn't there. And that was the only means I had to call my mother or my grandmother to pick me up. Or I got to walk back, which would not have been fun. School wasn't that far away, but still. You want to have to walk, bloody 3 miles or 4 miles. I finally got a cell phone in the space year of 2003, I think.
A Nokia?
No. We didn't have money for that. I don't know about you, moneybags, but we had a Virgin Mobile Concrea $80 phone. Robo Laundry. And I had a $20 top-up card, and that was it. And I was happy to have it. Yeah, it was a prepaid phone.
Oh, okay, I got you. No contracts.
It was cheap. We didn't have no Nokia Royal Triple X with your fancy Nokia phones. What was it? Diamond encrusted.
With our snakes.
I got to play.
I still have it.
Oh, really?
I still have it with the text messages saved.
Awesome. On that cheapo phone I had, I was happy to have that phone. I'm not ever going to complain about that phone because I was so happy to have it. But that cheapo phone had Tetris on there. It had a flashlight. So, does every game have a detective mode? Yes, because it's so useful. David Spade.
Look at you with your flashlight and your Tetris. I didn't have a flashlight.
Well, so sometimes cheaper is better.
Apparently.
Somebody.
I just had Snake, and that was it.
I know what Snake is. I've seen it. I think I played it once or twice. Make prank collect phone calls for his name, and he would shout video games. Wow.
Listen, guys. I'll never touch your stuff again. I swear.
That's not why we're here.
So what do you want? The money? I have your money.
You only have half of it, and that's the problem.
You're selling our product at half price.
Oh my God.
Makes my customers complain about my prices.
It ain't nice.
What was his name?
Maybe you think that building a customer base.
And no, I don't wear watches. I used to, but I just use my phone now.
Is a good idea.
It's so gross and uncomfortable. Well, it's supposed to be.
Practices are spoiling the market.
It's been proven.
Maurice looks just like my sister's fiance.
Uh-oh.
Shoot him immediately.
Okay.
Shit, Maurice. All we want to say is that you
Can you fly, Bobby?
The market with your predatory pricing.
He's very good about the flying, not so much about the landing.
It's unfair and unethical.
By the way, he would totally have survived that.
Yeah.
You are under arrest.
Come quietly.
This may be the last economics discussion.
I like the fact that this has such good writing.
Get him!
He has no head. Look how we both have to reload.
Oh, shit, man.
The only problem with like the modern Robo design, well, I say modern, it's 11 years old now, but it's just that it's so generic. Like anybody could have been it.
Against you, Maurice. However, you can hope for a reduced sentence if you reveal where these 3 dealers keep
Don't
their
tell me
goods.
Maurice died in the crossfire. That would just be awful.
No, we can't because we're the good. We're a good cop. We can't actually just shoot random people and then say like he had a gun.
Surviving that.
Can we at least arrest him?
Better than you do,
Yes, we
cop.
can.
So try some different
Good.
talk.
Fucker.
Or I'll jump.
Psychology 2. What will you sell without your dealers? Soot is looking for you. The jump would be fatal. Let's do Psychology 2.
Escape. Without those dealers, you have no constant source of news.
We're gonna psychoanalyze him. He had a bad childhood.
Oh shit, man! It's all your fault. You cost me my job. And
Is that why he's wearing a Tim
expensive,
Pool
you know?
beanie?
Maybe.
Jail, and we can even find you an
I think
assignment.
people
And
don't
you
realize
radicalized another person.
You can get a job at the
it's how it goes. Those thumbnails are persuasive.
I eat and live for free,
But yeah,
and I
it's
do
like
what
with
I
Superman.
to
Why do
and
people
live.
still shoot Superman? Why?
I feel like I won the lottery, man. I'll tell you where these jerks kept this stuff, but I have to have our deal in.
I could play
right.
Cyberpunk 2077, but I didn't really like Cyberpunk. The game doesn't look like it's that good. And I think you get like a negative ending no matter what you do, and so it's like, why am I going to waste like 70 hours on an RPG that I'm going to get a bad ending for? And yeah, I think they did get rid of Nuke in RoboCop 2, but I guess they had to bring it back because they couldn't talk about cocaine or heroin or shrooms or what have you. I am not a drug guy. I have never engaged in any sort of drug activities because that's just not something I've ever had any interest in. Call me a lame-o.
The first movie had it was all about the coke.
That's the 80s for you. Should I give him a ticket? No. I'm not giving him a ticket because it's wrong. It's wrong!
Hey, I'll learn less if you hang around here.
Really? Well, see, in the future she'll be on OnlyFans and still won't earn any money.
By the time OnlyFans comes out, she'll be what? 60, 70?
I wouldn't put it past somebody like that.
Only hags.
Exactly. See, like, that's a thing that I don't really buy. Evidently, like 1/4 of all women under 30 apparently do OnlyFans. I'm not sure I buy that. That seems a bit high. Okay, let's get us some skills. Let's do. Do we want deduction or scanning? Or focus? No. What we want to do is. Where's the one that lets you move really fast? Because there's one that lets you do like a Doom Eternal style jump. No, that's not it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do vitality.
It is strange that he can't run or jump in this game.
They're going with the movie when in reality he probably should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Disposable
If his
essence.
hand could crush every bone in your body, why can he not bunny hop over a curb?
Yeah. But I guess because they want RoboCop to be just like, you know, thumping along like he's this engine of death, you know. I see your Japanese RoboCops now, they can get moving. Have you ever heard of the Metal Heroes? Probably not.
You can chase that graffiti guy, by the way.
Yeah, I think you can.
No, I haven't heard of the Metal Heroes, but I'm intrigued.
They're basically ripped off. Well, the first couple is where the guy got the idea for RoboCop because he was in Japan and he saw basically a metal hero is like a Japanese, you know, like the Power Rangers.
Screw you, man.
It's like
Yes.
that, except they're usually some kind of robot or they're like some kind of alien. Run him down.
Were you a fan of the Rangers?
Yeah, because I was the right age, and it was actually something I cared about. And so I loved Power Rangers. Saw the movie in theaters, everything, you know.
I never got into them, but I had one gripe against them.
So what you gonna do?
They always got
You
their
can't leave me
asses
behind bars.
kicked,
I'm still a kid,
and then
only
they
done
would
it
just
once.
call down the sword.
Just let me off with a warning.
In one swipe, it would die.
Let's go ahead. We'll just issue him a warning. I'll
It is my duty to warn you not to commit.
we're gonna give him a warning. We could be a nice guy.
Violation again.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll do my best.
I gave him
not
a
to get
warning
caught again.
too.
You inspired the graffiti artist. But yeah, well, that's just a typical thing for the children's, you know. You gotta
Banksy
make-
will remember that.
Exactly. That fucking Walking Dead still is with us. Disposable SMGs. I don't think I'd want to bother with that. Just save up your money buying buy a real gun. But you know, in a cyberpunk world, I guess they're don't have a long enough life expectancy to get a real gun. I wouldn't trust it, that's for sure. You think a high point's bad?
Speaking of disposable SMGs, who was that senator back in the day that said, if we just stop making magazines, then when they fire all the bullets, there won't be any mags left?
Oh my god, that sounds like Feinstein. I think she's no longer with us now. Oh, how horrible. I mean, it is horrible. I mean, I love Dianne Feinstein. In fact, I subscribe to her newsletter, and I love the naked picture that she sends out every month.
Yeah, apparently she thinks that magazines are a one-time use.
Some would think that. If you check out the Super Send intro, I don't know what that is. Kind of shocking how much dark. I don't know what that is. But yeah, Power Rangers, the way they get their asses kicked so you can gin up a lot of drama, and then they defeat the boss at the end because the little bastards, I mean wonderful children, don't have enough of an attention span to keep paying attention after that.
Why don't they just call the sword immediately?
Because then the show would be over and they couldn't run enough commercials, that's why. Because you gotta get the little bastards to buy the toys. What kind of business are you running?
Look, I'm form over function, okay?
And here's the weird part, the Megazord, it wasn't actually a mech. In the original Japanese, it was actually a god that they would literally call down because it was like a dinosaur god or something. I remember seeing this just a couple days ago. Power Rangers in Japan is kind of weird. My favorite Power Ranger show, though, is not even a Power Ranger show. It's Jetman, because it's much more down to earth.
Come clean now, or there will be serious repercussions.
I have never seen anyone...
Thundercats versus Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, just because they have better weapons.
Might have something to do with your case. Let me open this.
But yeah, I've never seen anyone dual wield at the range. I dual wielded once when I was like 15. I dual wielded 2 44 revolvers. So, yeah. I didn't hit much.
For some reason, when I think of Lion-O and Panthera, I think of David Hasselhoff and Vin Diesel.
Yep.
What do you reckon? Is he your man?
For the time.
I mean, it works. But yeah, the Metal Heroes were basically like the one that the guy who came up with RoboCop would have seen back then was Space Sheriff Gavon, who looked kind of like RoboCop, but wasn't actually a robot. He was an alien, kind of like Green Lantern, that came to Earth to stop. And I'm literally, this is literally untranslated. Don Evil, like a mafia Don. I mean, it was for kids.
Yeah.
And that's probably where he got the idea. But then, after RoboCop comes out, the Japanese ripped off RoboCop in 2 different shows. One called Jan Person, that's basically RoboCop, but purple. And, I can't remember what the other guy's name is. Who was like RoboCop, but had a much more elaborate suit, and his backstory is entirely identical. It was a Japanese cop that got killed in the line of duty and then rebuilt into a robot. So... it was RoboCop or RoboCop.
Say that. We fall out a lot.
I can't remember what his name is, though.
Stuff to the shop, and I'm not okay with it.
I did a video ages ago on the Japanese RoboCops, but I had to take it down because of copyright.
That's why I understand his struggle, and I let him come back. Working here.
Did you ever happen to watch Dick Tracy?
It's not easy to find.
You know, you would think I would have, but no. I don't know why.
if you have never seen it, it's really worth a watch.
Him get swallowed by this city. Don't look at me like that.
I mean, I know what it's about, and I know it's got Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy himself, but it's just never sat through it. I don't know why.
Madonna is Breathless Mahone.
Yeah, I forgot that Madonna was in that. Madonna has not aged well. Whoever she paid to do that plastic surgery needs to be fired.
Actually, I think the person who did it did us a favor.
Bip. No, he didn't have to trace his dick. He didn't have enough ink for that. Al Pacino was in that movie too.
Yes.
You'd have thought I would have seen it. I have it on my hard drive. I just never got around to it.
Dustin Hoffman was also in it as well.
Yeah, like some females can age really well. Like the women in my family age well. There was a girl I dated for some time who was 11 years older than me, believe it or not. And she aged remarkably well. Although I have to say she did indeed maybe massage the truth on her age a little bit. I was rather shocked to find that out. Word of the wise, gentlemen, be very careful when people give you their ages. Because they may not exactly tell the truth on that.
They like to leave about 4 years off the truth.
So, yeah. So, yeah. But she aged really well, though. She could pull off being substantially older than she said she was.
I messed up good.
Was she a cougar?
Yes.
You must be
So not MILF status, but cougar status.
What initially attracted me to her was the fact that she had a picture of Goku attacking the Death Star in her bio. I was like, looks like she might be a nerd. And was, but yeah. Oh, dears. Your actions have consequences.
Our actions affect people around us.
Do you mean Ben? Shit. Is he alright?
Damn it, Scott.
Is Ben okay?
He looks like a Scott.
I'll forgive myself if anything bad happened to him.
This is heavy.
Conversation, my health monitor did not
What does weight have to do with it? Are things heavier in the future?
Okay.
I love that line in that movie. Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pulls?
Who is he?
I can't tell you. If he knew I gave him away.
You take revenge on Ben? Ben Kenobi? No, it's Obi-Wan's Kenobi.
Those thugs. We're dead. No one is gonna save us.
If they are criminals, then they are the ones.
Why, Scott, you're talking to a walking tank. Why exactly do you think we're dead when I'm literally a walking tank? Come on, dude. It's like, oh yeah, this like 98-pound thug is gonna hurt me with his 9mm pistol. That's all cheap-ass ammo and one hollow point. I'm not exactly afraid here, you know. Now, I'm sure that micro Uzi was legally acquired. I'm sure he filed all the paperwork, right? All the paperwork, all filed. You know, I mean, if we,
it was before the Brady Bill.
Even back then, though, this is a SBR. Got a stock on it. It's full auto. So, does he have his tax stamp?
They didn't think that through. Maybe you can.
Do I have a favorite anime manga gun? I don't know. Not that I can think of. No, not off the top of my head. I kind of like that 454 Kasol pistol from that Hellsing anime, but I haven't watched all that anime though.
I'm sure it's still in their chop shop. It's a warehouse on the northeast
I
side.
realized one of my costumes I made that was supposed to be 40K is basically a la carte from that anime.
If there's any other way, I would like to help. Maybe you need some more intel.
Okay, you should have gone to the police. Well, you know, I'll tell you this. Even though I'm like not anti-blue, I will say when you involve the police in anything, there's a chance that could make things spiral out of control. So, you know, yeah.
When I said it was too hot, he slashed me.
Slash you with his knife. Fictional gun would be the pulse rifle. Yeah, I would like a pulse rifle.
You saw those thugs. They were looking for me. They realized I tricked them.
10mm explosive tip caseless.
But I didn't want to get him into trouble,
Great minds.
so I stole a different one. I doubt anyone would have given a shit, but
word on the street, it belongs to the mayor's niece.
That is all for now. Proceeding to the vehicle's estimated location.
So can you believe we got RoboCop shilling chicken twice?
Minimal.
In the 90s, I think it was South Korea made a bunch of commercials where RoboCop sold chicken. And then KFC a few years back, I think it's almost 10 years ago now, had Robo sell some chicken too. I don't know what that pulse rifle sound is.
Did you know in Japan they eat KFC for Christmas because someone told a Japanese expat that KFC is the American tradition and he just believed it?
Wow. Weirdly enough, people in other countries do like KFC, because I've talked to somebody from Croatia and somebody from New Zealand in the past, and they were all like, yeah, KFC's the best, man. It's like, it is? I don't ever go to KFC. Like, I've done it before, but like, if I'm gonna get some like pre-made fried chicken, it's actually gonna be someplace like Hearts, which I think is a local place. They're not that expensive, although thanks to a certain presidential individual, the price went from like $26 for like 16 pieces to like over 30. Thank you, bidet.
Does it rhyme with Yosef Jiden?
Maybe.
You know, KFC in the 90s was just the absolute business. Today, not so much.
Oh, we have to scan the footprint, and then we could smash through the wall, I think.
There's a button behind the box by the main door.
I don't see a button over there.
Behind those barrels.
Oh, there it is. I see it. No, that's not a button. It's not letting me. Oh, here it is. I don't know. Why can't I just smash the wall down? I must just be... I'm gonna blame the chat just because I can. One of those things, like, if you know what you're doing, it's like, it's right there! How can you... There it is. That's not a box, that's a barrel.
That's what I said, behind the barrel.
You said box.
I said, rewind it back.
I distinctly heard box. How could you? It's the moops. I swear it's the moops. I'll kill you.
Come on, chat, help me out. I know y'all heard me say barrel.
The third Burger King crown. I don't know what that is. I didn't even set that up. Popeyes, man. I haven't been there.
Do you stream on Twitch?
No. I did back in the day, but YouTube is easier and more people show up.
Yeah, I think the crowns were a Twitch thing, but I don't know how people got the crowns. That's kind of cool.
It is pretty neat. But, yeah, didn't Twitch turn into just a bunch of thoughts? Like, doing the body paint? I mean, I don't know
you mean like the body painting streams?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the what was it? The hot tub streams.
Oh crap, man! They're blowing the crap out of me over here. Run! I'm sure they registered all those explosive devices with the ATF. A first-person Predator game in LA. Ooh, that'd be kind of neat, actually.
Yeah, except Predator in LA means something totally different.
Oh my, you're right.
He's thwarted by Chris Hansen and a plate of cookies.
You know, that's like there's a whole bunch of videos like that. Can we smash through that? Smashy, smashy. Oh, deduction level 2. We're not smart enough. Murphy, you should have gone to college. But yeah,
I think there's a bunch of Jet and Radaway behind there.
No.
Oh wait, wrong game.
Murphy's gonna get high, I guess. Yeah, we don't even have the lock picking for that. We can't lock pick.
Winners don't do drugs. I think that safe combination's in the area somewhere.
No, I'm not gonna try to find it just because streaming, you know, it'd be kind of boring. It's like,
Gotcha.
Where's the combination? Yeah,
The
his
6,000 SUX.
You know, I'd buy that for more than $1.
An American tradition.
And it gets really shitty gas mileage. I like the sound of that. Well, no, not really.
And what does the one SWAT guy say? We'll even throw in a Blom pump.
I think it was a new fuel pump, though. Although, why would a brand new car need a new fuel pump? Just saying, that sounds like a real
80s Americana.
Yeah. Now, see, I was born in '89, so I kind of missed out on that. But I was
Technically still counts.
I was aware enough to enjoy the '90s, though. I was a kid that had a good memory and was able to understand shit, so I was able to actually appreciate the '90s. Brand name stereo. Oh man, that reminds me. The Atari 2600 is going to turn 50 in the next 2 or 3 years.
Believe you've actually done it.
It's like, holy crap, we went from bleeps and bloops to this.
Maybe she won't press charges.
This car is now in police custody.
Now, Triple X, you're a little older than me. I think like, what, 5 or 6 years, I think?
Otherwise, I'm back in juvie.
Not much. So, did you ever have a Atari 2600?
You know it.
Okay. Do you ever go back to it?
Thank you so much. I
No.
promise I won't mess this up.
Okay, because I'm not crazy when I say that's too old to really go back to. You know, I've tried. I did a video on Stella, the emulator, and like, you can play an Atari game for like 5 minutes, and then it just gets boring as fuck.
Atari games were like, they're so low, like easy to recreate. Like, that's why you see all those Atari bundles on like the PS1, PS2. Hell, Call of Duty even has an Easter egg where you can play Activision games on Nuketown.
Wow.
But you're right, you play for 5 minutes and you're just done.
I have one of those Atari flashbacks. I got one for Christmas a few years back, and you know, it's cool for about 5 minutes. And I'm glad I have it because it looks good on the shelf, or it did when I had it on the shelf. But
I am kind of nostalgic for some Sequest.
Sequest DSV. Let's see, did I play Doom on GBA? Yes. Ooh, see, the thing about it, I have a story for that that's depressing. When my great-grandmother died, I had my GBA, and I played that while we were trying to get the... Well, it's going to sound really morbid, because it is. But see, as an actual medical professional, you know, like, when somebody dies, there's, like, all kinds of crap that has to be done before they can actually move the body.
Yeah.
And so we were stuck at this old folks' home while we were trying to get that moved, and so I just spent like 5 hours playing Doom on GBA.
Tough shit, stinker.
And so whenever I think of Doom on GBA, I think of that. So it's kind of morbid, but it's what happened.
Can be classified as a crime.
No,
And yeah.
I get it. Coping mechanisms.
The thing is, I never really knew her that well, so I wasn't like that broken up about it. I mean, it was sad, yeah, but it's not like it. It's not like it was my, you know, grandfather passing, like somebody I literally saw every day, you know. That's a conversation to have. It's like, can you be really sad about somebody you don't know versus somebody you do know? Like, for me, if I don't know somebody really well, it's hard for me to get really choked up about it. I mean, like, it's sad, yes, intellectually, but emotionally, it's like, oh no, Aunt Hortense, I met her once when I was 5, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, my grandparents on my father's side, I never had any real contact with them. So when they died, it was just like, okay.
I'm not as bad as Gramps, though. This is a story that I think is kind of funny, even in a kind of a messed up sort of way. When my grandfather's father passed, they called him at like midnight. And I swear this is true. This is such a Gramps thing. They called him at like midnight. And he was like, all right, I'll be there in the morning. And it was like, Grandma was like, you gotta get up and go down there. It's like, what?
I know where this is going.
And so she made him go down there. He was just going to go back to sleep. It's like, oh, okay. That's a Gramps thing. That's a Gramps thing.
I used to get so much shit because I would turn my phone off at night. And everyone would say, well, what if someone dies and they need to get a hold of you? I'm like, they'll still be dead in the morning.
Oh, yeah, but I had a dream. This is kind of morbid too, but I'm going to say it anyway because I'm talking about Gramps. Where my grandfather came to me in a dream, and this is such a Gramps thing, because this is where I can give you all some more information on like Gramps' personality. He was very irreverent at times, and he was all like, how am I doing in that box? It's like, I can picture him saying that in the real world, you know? But anyway, I basically just told him like, yeah, you're doing fine. But,
you got this.
Yeah. But I had to mention that because I just think it's hilarious. That is a thing he would say. I kind of got in trouble once at a funeral. We were going to go see the Alamo.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
And I'll tell you, I'll give you the spoiler. My grandmother was like, he gets that from you. I was like, did they get the carcass buried yet so we can leave? Because I wanted to go see the Alamo. And my grandmother's like, he gets that from you. Okay, we're going to skip the movie. Now let's go do the movie thing. We go talk to Discount Johnny Cage. I don't think the NES is too basic. We're going to move on from people dying to the NES. I don't think the NES is too basic. Super Mario is still worth playing, I think. It's still fun enough. Yeah, Stupid Chainsaw Production. This is a damn fine game. Wolf 3D. Yeah, Wolf 3D is very hard to come back to because it does get boring because it is just the same 90-degree walls over and over again. And oh dear, Chuckleton. There's a box for a barrel. I get a lot of my humor from my grandfather. My grandfather is a very funny guy. That's how my grandfather was able to get together with my grandmother, because they came from very different backgrounds. My grandmother came from a fairly affluent family, and Gramps did not. So all these, you know, YouTube weirdos talking about how like the 50s and 60s were like this or that. It depends. It depends. Or that women only marry up. Not necessarily. Here's the thing, if you got a good personality, and Gramps had that personality, you can get some pretty good females, just saying. Because he was able to do it.
Hey, when you mentioned Wolf 3D, there's and I know this is forbidden to mention another YouTuber. There is a guy called, his name is Noah Cadwell Gervais. And he did a complete retrospective on all the Wolfenstein games. And it's amazing to see them in their DOS infancy to what it is today.
Kurt's finally had a reason to watch
Interesting.
something other than the fast food channel.
It's like a 4-hour-long video.
When it comes to cleaning
Damn.
scum from the city,
But yeah, it's like the DOS games were really, really advantageous for the time.
Yeah.
Identified as Casey Carmel.
And we do not speak of the young blood or whatever that's called.
Ugh. Depressing. You know, it's like, of course, B.J. Blazkowicz had to have 2 daughters instead of, you know, like a son or a son and a daughter.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be 2 daughters.
What if girl boss, but 2 girl boss?
I would have accepted a girl boss. Those are 2, like, the best word that comes to mind is chucklefuck, you know? 2 dumbasses that couldn't open up a jar without shitting themselves are now your main characters. Ugh.
If they were like complete idiots that just succeeded because of their incompetence, I could be okay with that.
The guy's a loon, a mental patient. He thinks that aliens.
But BJ's sister or daughters or not, I can't see 2 girls taking on the Third Reich.
Well, here's the thing. You could have 2 girls take on the Third Reich if they were smart and capable, not people that literally... I wouldn't trust him. To quote Armageddon, I wouldn't trust that bunch of artards with a potato gun.
They dance in the elevators.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I bet the girl was killed.
Catacombs.
God damn it, we lost Wolfenstein.
We got the tire tracks, drag marks.
It's just like, if they wanted to have BJ's kids, you needed to have a son and a daughter. That way you could have, you know, a male gamer would like to play the male character, the female player would play the female character. You'd be able to reach a wider audience that way, I think.
Yep.
Twins are like Jason Brody from Far Cry 3. Oh man, Jason Brody's growth in Far Cry 3 was really, really good. I like Far Cry 3 a lot.
I love Far Cry 3.
And yes, the original Lara Croft could have done that.
Yes,
well,
but Lara Croft was written to be believable that way.
You see, that's the sad part. Like, a lot of these female characters are made to be these super characters. I like it when, you know, they weren't, you know, when they were human beings that had a lot to learn.
This is why I don't like Claire Redfield as a character. She's just Chris's sister.
I think the implication is, like, he taught her everything he knew.
But they never allude to that.
I think you're just supposed to assume it, though.
Like, Jill was a STARS agent, you know, or STARS member.
She was supposed
and
to
she was a burglar.
Yeah, that's true.
Nasty wound. Looks like she
See, as a youth, I was very much attracted to Claire Redfield.
She works perfect in Resident Evil 2. I can buy her and Leon working together to escape. But when she's outrunning a chopper gunner and taking on an island of private mercenaries, no.
Yeah, it's a little much. I think the chopper thing was supposed to be a reference to The Matrix, I think.
Probably. It's a 2000s game.
The Matrix.
And then you got Chris uppercutting a boulder in a volcano.
I remember that. I'm kind of nostalgic for Resident Evil 5 just because
I've been investigating them for years.
it was I played it co-op with a really good friend at the time, and so I remember more like just having fun playing it with somebody versus, you know, the actual game's quality.
37,617 of them, the murderer included.
Most likely a van with a
I don't think it was Chainsaw, but at the same time, it's not. I don't think it's fair to explain or give backstory to someone in a novel that's not associated with the original works.
I can kind of agree with that, but they did that with Master Chief though, and it worked out for him. But still, though, Claire taking on all that by herself is a little silly in places. I'll tell you, the Code Veronica book has like the most disgusting cover. It has this highly detailed picture of a zombie on it. I always had to turn it upside down because I don't want that staring back at me.
Why do you think that
There is, if you want to have a really good laugh, because you're a gun person, in the second Revelations game, there's a scene where Claire and Moira, Barry's daughter, are at this party, and mercenaries come from outside with guns, and they shoot through the glass to break in. Every one of those people there would have been riddled with bullets.
Yes, it would have.
Yet somehow, yet somehow no one got hit.
They were very good at missing. It's kind of like how apparently Cheeto's assassination attempt was staged too. They used those guns. The stage guns.
Oh yes. That is the stupidest conspiracy theory ever.
Yes, but then again, no one ever said people on Twitter were smart.
No.
RE4.
I mean, when you're talking about a matter of inches.
Exactly. No, go on.
Oh, I was just saying it was just a matter of inches.
Yeah.
Hey, but real quick though, since you brought it up, I got to see him yesterday.
That is pretty cool.
Yep, he was at the steel mill right down the street from my house.
Yeah, I think the only problem I have with him like talking bad about like Nippon Steel is it's not actually owned by Japan. It's just a name. But I guess it still is incorporated in Japan.
I trust the Japanese with our steel, but I don't trust that they won't sell it to the Chinese.
I can see that.
And American steel for its military practices could not be being imported from China.
You would think, because I don't know if I would really trust their steel quality anyway. And yeah, Godzilla Final Wars did rip off the Matrix with the weird aliens. Also, this guy's teeth did not animate properly because I have the graphics turned down so low. And yeah, they would have to change
look at those
Alfred a lot.
chompers.
You better find us another understudy so we can get this over with.
Let him in.
And Resident Evil 4 has aged pretty well. I've talked to like some OG Resident Evil fans who say that Resident Evil 4 is not like really Resident Evil.
It's not.
I have reason to believe that someone.
Maybe that's not a bad thing because that's the first Resident Evil I ever finished. Oops.
The thing is, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We use a lot of different
Resident Evil 4 is just Resident Evil in name only. It has a legacy character, Leon, and Ada. And the enemies are not zombies, which I'm not saying they have to be, but I think if Resident Evil 4 was called something other than Resident Evil, it would still be a fantastic game.
I guess if they like turned Halo into like a third-person shooter, although originally it was supposed to be a third-person shooter. I don't know.
I can make trouble for.
Yeah, it would be like if you took Master Chief, made it third person, and it was like a platformer, action platformer.
Start with the computer.
I think something like that actually exists, though. I don't know, but I get what you mean.
And by the way, I'm not saying that Resident Evil 4 is a bad game. It is a wonderful game. Fantastic. Great time.
Oh, I got it. If they turned Halo into like a turn-based RPG where Master Chief is trying to get together with like, you know, a purple-haired waifu, and that was like the main objective is to be able to date Cortana or something.
Yes.
Like, okay, I get what you mean.
Find your soulmate, Master Chief.
A Resident Evil Metroidvania game. Oh my god, we've got a computer here, people. Look at the size of this laptop. Oh, it's beautiful.
That is a big chungus.
He's in a bad mood, sensitive artist. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at it. You know, that's called a luggable. It's like, it's not a laptop. If you put it on your lap, you're going to break both your legs. And hello, agnostic.
I'm pretty sure you'd get testicular cancer from it, too.
So what?
exactly Chakotay. It's like turning Turok into a third-person co-op shooter. Oh man, that's gonna be something.
If you cooperate, we can go about it quietly. Otherwise, the
Press might get interested.
Try it. One phone call, they'll turn you off like a faulty fridge.
See, you know he's got to be evil. Look at that hair.
That bitch sent you after me, didn't she? She's looking for a way to screw me over.
And yeah, the RE4 did have a great gunplay system. I love that Red 9.
The guy she hired as the understudy. His face looks
I do admit that the aiming system was fantastic.
Yep, and it basically changed third-person shooters for like ever.
Yep. Damage-specific locations was like a game changer.
I spoke with Jenkins.
HK417 is sort of like an AR-10 like derivative.
This individual may be the perpetrator I'm looking.
But it doesn't have much to do with it. It's not. It doesn't have like interchangeable parts. See, like the AR-10 is sort of a generic term. There's a lot of guns that could be considered an AR-10, but would not have interchangeable parts. The SR-25 is the kind of standardized pattern. Kind of.
Why did you hire the understudy?
Jenkins' contract.
Amazing music video for the Terminator Lava Factory. Nice.
Understudies wanted to do it either. They all say it's toxic. So I had no choice. Jenkins brought a guy and said he could do the job.
Oh, I don't know why their teeth are all messed up. It's like they just ate like tar.
Where is the understudy now?
I have no idea.
So basically,
maybe they're British.
That's the whole point. We can't keep shooting because he's disappeared.
So basically, that guy with the David Lynch hair, he is guilty. He did kill a prostitute, as you might imagine. So, you know, but we gotta like get all the evidence.
Show me the footage.
And then we're gonna haul him off. Gotta go back to our luggable. No, maybe not. Okay, we don't actually have footage on here, I guess. I can't imagine a computer being able to show anything like that back in the 90s.
Who are you, pal?
Your agent sent me.
Pretty sure the Apple II was still the most common back then.
Jeez, man. I've got a place.
I never really knew it was the most common computer back then because I just had access to my grandfather's compact computers.
And get lost. The smell of hard-boiled eggs mixing with this
Agnostic, I will absolutely check that out when the stream's over.
And after we put this guy in jail, we'll go to the arcade, and then we'll end that mission, and then we'll be done for the day.
Something about special services.
Special services? The sad part is, we're going to put this guy in jail in the game, but in real life he'd get away with it. Which I think is kind of sad about the real world, you know? We kind of could use a RoboCop. And, you know, just putting him in jail, he'll probably end up getting out, but whatever. At least we can mildly inconvenience him. Sadly, we can't shoot him in the dick, but whatever.
I like his Shadow the Hedgehog haircut.
Exactly.
You know what? He looks like from Hook. What was his name? Rufio.
I have not seen Hook in a long time, so I don't remember. That does remind me of something. I wanted to bring it up in the stream. I was watching Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, I know everybody talks about the fact that he couldn't do the drag because people would be like, how dare you? But there's one thing about that movie that I don't think is accurate. I just don't see a woman breaking up with Robin Williams. Okay, like, he was a good father and a good husband on top of that. I just don't see her breaking up with him. I just don't see that happening. It has to happen for the movie, but I get the feeling that in the real world they'd be able to work that out, you know.
Did you know that Sally Field, the actress, got so much hate complaints after that movie?
But I could see
even though she was supposed to be the sympathetic one.
That is kind of hilarious. I mean, I could see it happening because, like, it's kind of contrived. It's like, come on. Would Sally Field, if she was a real person, well, Sally Field is a real person. Would the person in that movie really break up with someone like Robin Williams? You know, I mean, come on.
You killed our family.
She would, and like, okay, she would probably have worked with him to make to do what he was doing, because like he actually had a birthday party for the kid, you know, all that sort of thing, you know, like it wouldn't have gone like the movie did. But if it didn't go like the movie did, it wouldn't be a movie.
I know why you're here, but I'm innocent.
I think the part that they hated her for the most was the final courtroom scene where she lets the judge forcefully have like custodial visits.
The guy from TV. You have to believe me.
You will make your statement.
And also, allegedly, the wife had to deal with Robin Williams' antics many times, and they had trouble taking things seriously. To be honest, I don't think that... I don't know. The movie doesn't really establish that, though. It just feels so forced. And besides, they're both professionals. Like, she's like some kind of architect or some shit, some 90s profession, and he's a professional voice actor. It's like, I don't see them breaking up. Now, wait, what did you say?
Now, do you think...
Go on.
Do you think she upgraded when she went with Brosnan?
No. She wouldn't get
so
with
she
Brosnan.
downgraded.
That's a downgrade. Besides, she wouldn't get with Brosnan anyway. She's not hot enough.
I agree.
I mean, she's not. Oh, yeah, the guy who played Joffrey in Game of Thrones, yeah, he gets hate for no good reason. Movie's based on a book, and the book version is far less likable. Okay.
He wasn't Bond yet, Silver.
The thing is, well, James Bond would be a downgrade, though. You got to think about it. Like Robin Williams, like let's just say Robin Williams versus like that. You know, it's like, think about it. James Bond is not somebody you can really trust to be on time. Whereas I think Robin Williams would be on time to whatever. You know, he clearly liked his kids. Whereas James Bond would be like, yeah, who cares about the kid? Just send him to boarding school.
Why did you not?
What would I say?
In real life, Robin Williams was an absolute loving father to his children.
Yeah, I think, didn't he like name his daughter Zelda though?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Hurry up, please. It burns.
All I know is we lost a legend when he died.
Yeah. I just picture, it's kind of like Jack Black, you know? Jack Black is somebody who could get all kinds of females just because, you know, he has that charisma that James Bond wouldn't have. Zelda Williams. Okay, I thought so. This looks like Epstein. I mean, never mind. Or it could be Hillary Clinton. I mean, never mind. In the book where the son asked him why he couldn't pretend such a good actor, he slammed. Oh, wow. That character's a lot worse in the book. No wonder they got a divorce. Okay, so in the book, the Robin Williams character is an asshole. Okay. They didn't really come through in the movie.
So this is a bit of a dumb question and a little bit off topic. Did you read the Jurassic Park Crichton novel?
Yeah, I even did a video on it a couple months back.
I can't remember his name. The uncle that brings his nieces over in the movie.
Yeah, John Hammond.
He is a dick in the book.
Yeah, he is substantially less sympathetic.
I think the book was great. This is one of those cases where the movie is just as good.
It is just as good in different ways, although I like the movie more.
Yeah, me too. Jurassic Park was the first movie I ever saw twice in theaters.
Yeah, I've seen that twice in theaters too. Ooh, definitely an Epstein count. I mean, never mind. See, the sad part is, you know this guy would get away with it. That's what I really don't like. You know? But we're gonna go arrest him anyway.
Yes, time to bring in Hunter. I mean, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
According to the evidence, Jenkins is guilty of.
He was playing Zelda around the time his wife was giving birth. Huh. Neat.
However,
I don't know what Charlie Sheen did. He kind of went nuts and said like he was pansexual or something, and then I don't know.
Oh, he's got the tiger blood.
Is yelling at her kid for taking a kid to see it. Wow. Gutty Karens. I can only imagine if somebody tried that with my mother. They would not enjoy the experience.
Do you remember that epic Mel Gibson telephone like fight he had with his then girlfriend or wife?
No. I only know
Oh
that
man.
I only know that Mel Gibson said the bad words and got into trouble for a very long time.
There's one quote that stands out, and I won't say it on stream, but I recommend watching it on YouTube.
All right.
Something about smiling.
Yeah, it does not ring a bell. You know, celebrities are one of those things. Celebrities, I think, are like the modern day aristocracy. Because I'm sure back in the old days, like all the, you know, commoners were like, "Oh, what has Queen Bloody Bloody Blood done with King?" It's like, ugh. But then again, it's more fun these days, I think.
I have a solution for you if you are looking for some protection against that California
Sunshine.
Stay in Detroit prison. Jerry Jenkins, you are under arrest for the murder of Casey Carmel.
This is well, like,
I've seen you on TV. You're glitching again.
I'm about to glitch by stepping on your head.
For fuck's sake, it hurts.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Haul him off, Robo. This movie I ever saw more than once was Sahara from 2005. You know, I've never seen that. I know it's based upon a book series by the guy who likes the boats. The boat guy, not the fat electrician.
I always wanted to be a cop. I even applied to the academy.
Game was on sale for $7. Yeah. It's a damn fine game. I saw AVPR twice because I wanted to actually like it, but it only got worse the second time I saw it. Yeah, Clive Cussler. I think he's still alive, but really, really old. It's always kind of weird when like somebody comes up with Clive Cussler wrote a book series about a guy named Dirk Pitt, who's basically this super character. He's like American James Bond. But he started out like in the 70s, and he's still going on even in, 2025, I think. Frustrated gamer, yeah, I know that feeling. And so like his age just keeps kind of like, well, instead of being born in like 1940, he's now born in like 1980.
That's a serious accusation, kiddo. Someone might think I
Oh, he died a few years ago. Damn. Yeah, people have been dying fast recently. We just lost the woman who played Major Houlihan in the MASH TV series.
You work for Soot. Tell me where to find him.
You cops are giving me a stomach ulcer. Stop asking me about guys I don't know.
Withholding
A stomach ulcer? I'm gonna give you a stomach shot, you bastard.
Look, I'm a busy man, so I'm going back to my office now. Why don't you join me?
Is this the arcade?
Yeah.
Dude, they really did nail that 80s, 90s arcade vibe.
One day, I'm going to have a house of my own, and I'm going to turn the garage into an arcade. I have an X-Men arcade cabinet. And I'd like to set up like 2 or 3, but that will happen in the future. I've been to an arcade a couple months ago, and it looked a lot like this because it was a classic styled arcade.
You need that purple carpet with the red and blue accents. Neon. A change machine.
Yeah. The arcade.
Which, by the way, in your review, the change machine in this game is spot on.
Yep, there it is. I remember that.
That takes me back so much.
And see, since we were poor, it's like, you ain't gonna get too many quarters, that's for sure.
I can already hear Daytona playing in my head.
Readings suggest substance
misuse. Okay, be entertaining. I gotta check the plumbing.
All right.
Who sold you drugs?
So, while he's gone, how's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful Saturday. We got some crowns in the chat. I like your crowns.
Unfortunately, I'm broke, but I have a great idea. You could help me sneak into the basement. They keep a huge
Dirk Pitt.
stash of goodies down there.
drugs in
I know not what you speak of, Nunez.
Take care of that.
Would you really do that for me? Way to go, TJ.
So while he's gone, if anyone's interested, I will be streaming tonight at 12:30, 2 hours from now. Everybody's welcome to come join. I believe General will be there with us. Come hang with the General and me. We'll have a good time. Hopefully I'll see some of you there. Yes, I will do that right now. Bear with me, gentlemen. Here we go.
All right, and I'm back.
Welcome back, sir.
I mean, you know, I saw the bathroom in here, and it just reminded me that I needed to check it myself, right? Oh man. Okay, let me check the chat here real quick. Have you played? Yeah, I played the Terminator game just last week. So you can just check. The stream's gonna post this coming Wednesday. Raise the Titanic. Yeah, Raise the Titanic was not that good of a book. It was more of a neat concept than it was an actual story. And yeah, the T2 arcade cabinet is my favorite light gun game of all time. I remember playing that back in the 90s. And yeah, the chat is still alive at 95, and I'm glad I got to meet him in real life. It was so cool. Still, change machine. Dirk Pitt sleeps with another man's wife. Well, I did not remember that. What an asshole. Handsome stuff, bro.
I was always partial to Area 51 myself.
I actually played that a few months back, and it was pretty good. I dual wielded the pistols because it was free play. 12:30 in what time zone? Well, for me it's 9:30. Bip, where they played Titanic 97 in reverse. See, that's the
basically
thing about,
just 2 hours from now.
You're in the future.
Yes.
Open the door.
And it's female.
Oh my. See, if only like the chicks were actually cool and not annoying.
Here.
But going back to like Robin Williams versus Pierce Brosnan, the thing about like the Robin Williams character, oh, we rocked that guy, we ragdolled him, is that the Sally Field character gets a better husband out of Robin Williams, because if she were sick, you know Robin would be bringing in like soup, whereas the Pierce Brosnan character would not. That's the main thing. Like, James Bond ain't bringing you soup when you're sick, okay? I like James Bond as much as the next man, but like, he's not exactly the loving and caring type either, you know? He's the send the kids to boarding school, and if you're sick, well, good luck with that. That kind of guy, so. And I'm sure there's some females that are, you know, attracted to that sort of thing, but not anyone you'd want to date, that's for sure. It's usually females that have some kind of, like, personality problem, you know? I think that gets kind of...
So you're saying...
Oh, go on.
You're saying Robin Williams would bring her soup, but Pierce Brosnan would give her penicillin?
Yes.
Yeah. Team Robin all the way.
We're not going to be up all night streaming. I just want to finish this mission, and we'll call it a day. Black for PS2. Huh. Baffling how Raise the Titanic has so many fans. Still to see another adaptation of it. I read that a long time ago, so I don't remember too much about it. I just remember it was... The Raise the Titanic, for those who don't know, is where in the 70s they didn't know where the Titanic was, and they didn't know it like had split in half that wouldn't be discovered till the 80s. And so it's a whole book about how they're trying to raise the Titanic because there's like this special like metal in it that can be used to make like an anti-nuke shield. Because yes, it's the 70s. Dirk Pitt is kind of like a James Bond kind of guy. But that's all I remember is like they're trying to find some kind of like special metal to make like a golden dome, if you will, in the 70s. I don't know if they find it or not, though. I assume they do. Bip.
Open the door, or you will regret it.
Can't a guy just sell drugs to kids without you harassing him every 5 minutes?
Why would any door be locked to RoboCop?
That's a good question.
Where do I find Soot?
Well, if that's the case,
No, Cyrus. I typically only stream for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Cop's informant. And don't you dare open that door, I'll shoot you.
You two are not real torchheads. True torchheads are fearless fighters.
I fucking love this game.
Afraid to face the enemy.
We are fearless fighters. Don't listen to him. He's playing you.
Yeah, I don't think RoboCop would negotiate through a door.
I don't know. I mean, you gotta remember, he's a cop first, so he might try to negotiate him down, and if not, he's gonna be smashing.
No, you damn fool.
Smashy. I say smashy.
Both work. Where'd that other guy go? Your sunglasses did not save you. Oh yeah, one of the stupid Reddit complaints. Thank you. One of the stupid. Whoa, his face is messed up. These graphics are totally screwed up.
Ah!
Like, what's going on here?
To be completely honest, I don't want or need to know more than when the next shipment is coming.
But like,
looks like he's going into the Matrix.
Yeah, at least RoboCop's face is fine. But I was gonna say, like, one of the stupid Reddit complaints is like, why does RoboCop have like a face? Shouldn't they just shoot him in the face? It's like, you know what? Look, here's the thing. We need to see his face because it's human. That's why. Obviously, he wouldn't really have a face like that, but it doesn't matter. It's a movie. It's the same way with Batman, being able to see his face. It makes him look human. It makes him more approachable, and it's a cool design. Batman would obviously have a face fully covering face mask, but it's
what they call one of their sites.
Dramatic, you know.
From what I've gathered, it's that big burned down building.
They did that in the Judge Dredd movie with Stallone, where they demanded that he could not wear his helmet because if they're paying for Stallone, they better see Stallone.
Yeah, well, that's going in the opposite direction. Let's see,
Carl Irving, on the other hand,
arcade junkie, really? I don't think he'd have that, but whatever. And yes, this is a PC Master Race game. Sometimes the PC is not as masterful as it should be. But at least have more control than on a console.
Requesting a squad car.
I will not have you besmirch my console.
Clear plastic jackets the Splatterpunks wear. And have a stream of Skyrim. Huh. But yeah, Dirk Pitt is something I never really got into. I tried to read a couple more past Raise the Titanic. I don't remember why I read it. I think I might have wanted to do a video on it or something, but never really got into it past that. See, the thing about like James Bond is in the movies he's cool, but when you think about him as a person, he's probably a pretty bad guy. You know, like constantly sleeping with women and such. I kind of like the... They did try to get him to settle down, but then they had to have the tragic backstory of his wife dying in the one with the weird guy. I don't guess he was weird, but the one-off guy. What's his name? The George Lazenby James Bond movie, whichever one that is. Let him have a wife and kind of settle down. But like, I just don't. Would James Bond actually be a good guy though? Like, would he make for a good partner? I just don't think he would. He's not exactly a warm and cuddly kind of guy, you know?
That guy you just arrested kind of looked like Adler from Call of Duty Cold War.
Huh.
if he gave up the CIA lifestyle and became an arcade guy.
And drug dealer.
Yeah. Well, you know, Ollie North.
Hmm.
Those people on first floor are paranoid.
All right, we'll go ahead and go to the ghost house and go through this, and then we'll call it a day. It's longer than usual, but since I've got a co-commentator, it's a lot easier because I'm not trying to just be a one-man show. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I haven't.
Chat, you get a long stream tonight.
So when you're at work next week, you won't, or the week after, you won't be quite so bored.
Yes.
But On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Now, I've not seen that all the way through, but man, watching that in HD, you see all the really bad cuts. Like, you know, if you watch that in SD or watch it on TV, you're not paying that close attention, you might not notice them, but like, man, the editing is so choppy in some of those Bond movies.
What was your first Bond movie?
GoldenEye.
For Your Eyes Only.
Huh, that's not a bad one. That's Roger Moore, I think, right?
Yes. I fell in love with James Bond at such an early age, which is why I kind of missed the Star Wars, Star Trek series.
Oh. See, I watched it as a kid as well. And my favorite was Sean Connery. Oh, I'm getting blasted by a 50 cal. That would go through him. Longer than usual. Oh my. Quantum of Solace. I didn't really like that one too much.
Quantum sucked.
But I did see Dr. No pretty quick after GoldenEye. And I really liked Sean Connery. In fact, I cosplayed as the Sean Connery Bond for my last Halloween. The last Halloween. Everybody thought I was a businessman. Me and my grandfather even made a wooden mock-up that looked way too realistic, and I did not take it out of my pocket because it looked like a real gun of the PPK. I still got that.
Damn it,
somewhere.
Pops.
A second.
So damn it, Pops, your woodworking skills are too good.
Oh, but it was a cool costume. I even had the hat, the James Bond hat. It was really cool. And see, like, I don't think like the Sean Connery Bond would be a particularly good guy, but he's a cool character, you know. I'm trying to cosplay as him, not date him. Oh my.
You're down to about 12 FPS right now.
Damn it. I don't know what to do about it because there's nothing I can change. Is it getting any better?
I think it's just the action on the screen.
Ugh. Damn you, RoboCop. It's not supposed to be that slow.
No, I don't think Daniel Craig was the worst either.
I think he is. He just doesn't have any.
I thought he was. Well, yeah, he doesn't have a personality, but that's what I liked about him. If Brosnan was a scalpel, he was a sledgehammer.
Let's see, James Bond is an inherited code name. I mean, it doesn't really work in terms of continuity, but it does make more sense that it would be a bunch of different people. Call of Duty slow-mo time. See, I'll check it. Kyle Reese is Silent Bob. In the timeline where there was no Skynet, Kyle Reese was a stoner.
Wasn't he a stoner in A2?
No. Wait, you mean in T2? No, I don't think he is.
No, K2.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
He's like a adrenaline junkie that climbs mountains.
Oh. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I know you already are familiar with the Rock being Sean Connery's last unofficial outing as Bond.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a neat concept. I'm not sure if that's really true, though. Okay.
You know, I agree. I don't think that's what they were going for. But you have to admit, a lot of the timeline does add up perfectly.
Damn it. I guess, kind of, but that's really kind of forcing it, though, because, like, I never really, that just feels like that might be kind of like a Reddit thing, though. It's like, oh my god, it's really James Bond, but I can also see where they're kind of coming with that, too. Oh, crap, I am so hurt. I'm down to 14 health. Damn you, James Bond. In the books, Bond really hates his job and hates himself. Huh. So, like, with something like that, though, then why doesn't he, like, get a different job? Like, why doesn't he stop being an assassin? Why doesn't he, you know, be an accountant? You know, why doesn't he work for a car wash? Oh, wait, we don't want him to do that. James Bond meth? No, we don't want that. James Bond meth goes down smooth. And yeah, Michael Biehn is such an underrated actor.
Are you saying that breaking Bond is not going to be a good idea?
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like, he goes from, like, I hate my life, I hate my job, but you know what? I'm gonna try going straight, and then he still ends up making meth, and then, like, he has to fight Blofeld. You know, I'd actually watch that. That'd be kind of interesting.
Or what if you get in trouble and you better call Bond? He's just some, like, disgruntled, like, public defender.
Yeah, poor Bond. He just ain't gonna get a break.
Are you the police informant? Do you know where I can find Soot?
I have it on good authority that when Bond retired, he got a job working at Wawa.
Oh dear. Okay, I really like this character of Pickles. He shows up throughout the game. He's this junkie that can't get right, and Robo, like, tries to help him, but it doesn't ever really work out for him. I like it.
Hey, spoilers. I didn't finish the game yet.
Oh, okay.
Pickles is a cool character, though.
This is
he has a heart of gold.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I would never want to be a cop, because these people are like that. There's people like that in real life, and a lot of them just, well, end up dying, and that cannot... The mental health challenges for being an actual cop have got to be considerable. You know? Just having to deal with that kind of stuff. Yeesh. I'll be very happy just to work on computers. Just let me work on computer. They don't talk back.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't want to have to like try to help like a computer that has like bipolar disorders. Like, ugh. Or instead of a secret agent, it's a clown. Your super secret agent is literally a clown. Doesn't that already exist? Like with Austin Powers and that other guy, the Mr. Bean guy, Johnny Dangerous. That's the one. Octopussy. Oh yeah, he does show up, dress up as a con in there. Gold Bond had something to do with James Bond. So see, that's in an alternate. We're in an alternate timeline where like Goldfinger decided to make ointment powder. Sounds right. Johnny English. Okay, I thought it was Johnny Dangerous. Whatever.
Johnny Bravo.
You mean Duke Nukem's younger cousin?
Yes, I love Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, a classic to say the least. All right, well, I've been going for 2 hours and 23 minutes. Holy crap. Okay, we're gonna skip through this and we're gonna go to the stream ending. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am General Lotz, and I've been joined by...
I'm Triple X Medic. I have a question for you, General.
Oh?
Will you be stopping by the stream tonight?
Yes. I'll show up and
all right.
Throw a few comments in there. Until next time,
I would...
Okay, go on.
I do apologize. I was informing the chat that you will be there and to come hang out with you and me, and we'll have a good time.
It'd be awesome. And so, I'm General Lotz, wishing you good Resident Evil 4 and 5, or whatever makes you happy.
Bye.
Ugh, if I do a video on the race of Titanic, that means I'm gonna have to read it again. It may happen though.